Okay. Here we are with this 13 Chevy Silverado with a crate motor. Right there is a ground, and I had the ground hooked up to the battery, but I did not have that little ground hooked up. And once I got that hooked up, then I had starter. Check this out. All right, so I just cranked it for like 10-second intervals, and check this out. I've got about 30 psi oil pressure. That's pretty good. Just as a reminder, when the crank is on, that gauge is not active. So you have to go back to the ignition cycle to see what the pressure is. So now it's time to install the spark plugs, coil packs, and intake pipe, and all the rest of the coolant stuff. I've got to bleed the coolant system, so I will keep that disconnected and fill the radiator until it starts coming out up here on that hose, and then I'll fill the coolant reservoir until the engine starts burping out coolant right there, and then I'll hook that line up and we'll be good to go. Okay. Well, shy of some plastic like the inner fender wells and the cover for the engine and stuff like that, all I've got left to do is fire it up, break it in. I'll have to recheck my coolant level after that and do an oil change, and it should be ready for the road. Well, here goes nothing. That sounds a whole lot better. I got about 43 pounds of oil pressure. I'm just gonna do a little check, make sure there's no apparent leaks, and then I'm gonna run the RPMs up to like 2,500 RPMs for 30 minutes or so. So, see you in a little bit. Well, there we go. I cleaned up, I gotta organize my tools, but I cleaned up the floor. I got some oil there, cleaning up and drying up. I'll scrub that in pretty good. And I've got my crate motor core all loaded up, ready to go back to Weller Auto Parts. And yeah, everything's good. The truck drove well. I maintained good temperature, good oil pressure. I found one little leak that I took care of. It was a plug on the left side of the block right next to the timing cover, and my guess is that's some type of oil pressure port or something like that. Otherwise, everything's good to go. So on to the next project. Thanks for watching. If you haven't, feel free to subscribe. Keep up on what's going on in the shop. I've got tractors lined up, I've got trucks lined up, and I've got a zero-turn lawnmower that's coming in today. So have a nice day, take care, and happy Easter.